1.1 of Zenless Zone Zero is here and massive changes are going to be coming starting with this patch. Currently in Zenless we have become very accustomed to the current meta of the game where team building revolves around three types of units: stunners, attackers, and supports. This is the tried and true team comp at the moment and I completely understand why.
Majority of the team comps in the game are centered around the first two standard banner characters of ZZZ, Ella and Juan, and those characters pretty much do benefit from the current team comp within the meta, which includes stunners and supports. This is overall due to the limited roster we have at launch of ZZZ, but it is overall really strong.
Now with 1.1 being here and 1.2 new units being revealed, we no longer have to worry about this problem. Starting with Jane Doe for the second half of 1.1, we are about to start seeing a lot of new teams coming to the light and overall shifting the meta into a much more expressive manner for players, because now we'll have so many different teams that we'll be able to build and effectively use to clear content. Just in case you guys haven't been keeping up on the details with the units for 1.1 and 1.2, first we have Jane Doe, who is a S-rank physical anomaly unit, and accompanying her will be Seth, an A-rank electric defense unit. Then in 1.2 we'll be getting Caesar, who is our first S-rank physical defense unit, and Bernice, who is a S-rank fire anomaly unit. Major stocks are definitely being pumped into the next three banners for defense units and anomaly units specifically. What this tells us is that the Zenless team is trying to shift from the traditional team comp that we have been building for the past month now, and they want to take us in a new direction with defense and anomaly units for the upcoming future of the game. Now we don't have any official information on the characters for 1.2, but we are able to take the info that we do have with 1.1 and speculate with how these characters will be affecting the game based off the roles they are playing and how they'll be able to change the game in a major way. First up, let's talk about Anomaly. Anomaly units are currently viewed as one of our major DPS roles. They specialize in dealing great amount of damage and anomaly buildup. What's strong about these units is that their damage and team synergy comes from being able to trigger anomaly statuses like assault and shock, for example, really effectively, allowing them to be paired up with other units that can capitalize on it. They also are truly the only units in the game that can take advantage of the dual DPS team comp because they trigger anomaly so well, and paired with other DPS units, these team comps deal just enough daze and damage that not having a stunner really doesn't matter that much. Dual DPS comps is something I'm extremely excited to explore within ZZZ because this includes some of my favorite units in the game under the attacker and anomaly class. Then if we take these classes and add a little bit of disorder in the mix, we now get insane combinations that I believe will elevate the dual DPS team comp to being one of the best team comps in the game, especially with the new fix that they added for disorder in 1.1, where it now builds days once it's triggered, making this team comp even more viable than it already is. These type of comps can actually already be taken advantage of with current units that we have now like Grace and Piper, but it'll be expanded upon even more once we get Jane Doe and Bernice, which I'm super excited for. In comparison to Grace and Piper, Jane and Bernice kits won't be as limited because they are A-rank units or standard banner units in the game, and if limited banner characters kits tell us anything, the Zenless team is about to make these characters crazier and crazier by the patch. Currently with the anomaly units that we have in the game, we can already make teams like Piper, Soldier 11, and Lucy, or even Ellen, Grace, and Sokaku. These teams are pretty good at the moment and give us a taste of the power of Anomaly, but once we get Jane and Bernice, we'll be able to formulate new comps even stronger with teams like Grace, Jane, and Rena, or Jane, Nicole, Jian, and even Soldier 11, Bernice, Lucy, or Bernice, Jane, and Lucy. These team comps are going to be so nice to play, and they're going to be opening up the game a lot more vastly for other cast members within the game, and it just has me super excited to see the future of ZZZ with how much potential we're going to be having with all these brand new units. To explore this even further, we actually got a chance to play with Jane Doe in the 1.1 story, and this allows us to take a look at her kit specifically and see what she'll be bringing to the meta in the future. When we look at her kit, we see that she has a unique mechanic called Passion State, which increases her physical anomaly buildup by 25% as long as it's active. This is extremely broken to even think about because also in her kit, whenever she perfect dodges or triggers her defensive assist, she regenerates passion. Her chain attack and ultimate also gives her max passion and instantly puts her into passion state, which means that Jane can possibly always stay in this state, allowing her to maintain this buff to her anomaly buildup, giving her the potential to trigger assault and even disorder faster than any unit in the game. Just imagine pairing this with another Anomaly unit. I just don't see how you're going to be able to top this team comp in the future. We also see with her core skill that whenever assault is triggered on an enemy, Jane extends the duration of flinch, and assault damage now has a chance to crit based on her Anomaly proficiency. We then see with her additional ability that is triggered whenever she has another Anomaly unit or the same faction on her team, and when it's active, her Anomaly buildup is increased by another 20% on its own, and if an enemy is suffering an attribute anomaly already, it increases by another 15%. Do y'all understand how insane that sounds? This means, for instance, if Soldier 11 inflicts burn on a unit first, when Jane comes in with Passion Stay active, she will have a 60% anomaly buildup buff active. There is literally no other unit in the game that is going to be building anomaly or triggering disorder better than Jane. Not to mention, she also gives herself a massive attack buff if her anomaly proficiency is above 120, which will cap out at an additional 600 attack within her stats. If Bernice is anywhere near as strong as Jane when she comes out on release, then I don't know what to expect from this game anymore, because why would we need units this cracked within the game right now? Now, even with all of that said, I know it sounds crazy, but Jane has a lot more to offer within her kit still, but we'll talk about that later in a future video. Ideally, all you need to know is that in the future, Anomaly is really about to show us how strong and flexible these units are about to be, and I'm going to be one of the main people that's going to be pushing this because I've been super excited for this and I've been ready for it. I mean, one of my favorite teams in the game is literally Piper, Soldier 11, and Lucy because of this overall thought of having a dual DPS comp within the game. They aren't the only ones that's going to be insane though. Defense units are about to step up with Anomaly units just as well right at the same time. Defense units are currently the least used characters in the game right now due to there being only one at the moment with Ben. Now, if you guys seen my previous video talking about the best A-rank units you should be building to clear in-game content, you would know that I included Ben as an honorable mention because of his strength as a defense unit and because of my overall prediction with how the game is going to be going in the future. Now, without diving specifically too deep into Ben's kit again, let's talk about how defense units are essentially hybrid classes within Zenless. Originally, a lot of players only thought defense units were going to be something like tanks for us in the game, units that would just have the job to take loads of damage for the team and to some extent protect it as well. But if we dive deeper into the defense class, we realize that they are designed to be a jack of all trades. See, defense units are like another form of support. Their core design is to support the team, but it can be done in many different ways. For instance, with Ben, he's able to apply shields to his team, which increases their overall crit rate by 16%, but with his unique parry ability, he's also able to increase his own damage output and days, allowing him to assist with DPS and even play a role of a stunner a bit. This is why I view this class as a jack of all trades, because they're able to provide assistance at almost every front of the team. This is strong because these units are essentially able to protect their team like a tank, but they are also able to be built in a way to play another role that helps sustain their team since they only have to focus on one single stat. That's why with Ben, you could build him with high defense and dedicate some of your gear to impact so that he's a big body stunner. That doesn't mean he's as good as building days as a stun unit, but he definitely does it pretty well. Since 1.1 is here, we also have the chance to look at the future unit Seth, who will be the main unit that begins showing the true potential of the defense class. When looking at his kit, we see that he has a meter mechanic called Resolve, and whenever he has 75% built, he gains access to a new hold basic attack. With this basic attack, he's able to trigger Quick Assist, which is the first time any unit outside of the support is able to do. Now, the interesting thing about his Quick Assist is that instead of switching to the next character like support, he actually switches to the previous character, allowing a team with a comp like attack, defense, support to be able to constantly Quick Assist to your attacker between both Seth and your support unit. He's also able to trigger Quick Assist with his assist follow-up, and this is strong coming from Seth because of his core passive. His core passive allows him to grant a shield to himself and the teammate he Quick Assists to based on his attack stat, and it gives both units a anomaly proficiency buff. Pair this with his additional ability that reduces enemies' anomaly buildup resistance for all attributes by 20% when they are hit by his chain attack or at least the last hit of his hold basic attack. You get a defense unit that takes this anomaly meta to the next level while only being an A rank. With kits like this, you are able to build team comps like Grace Seth Reyna or Seth Seth, Jane, Piper. Defense units are starting to look very strong in the future, and if they are anything like Seth, I can easily see the defense class shifting into the meta and being one of the strongest roles within the game. Honestly, I believe we'll really see them take Storm once 1.2 rolls around and we get Caesar within the game. Now again, we don't have any official information on her kit, and I personally don't want to discuss leaks on my channel, but let's just say if an A rank has the capability of shifting the meta this hard in order for people to worry about defense units, then you can only imagine what an S rank defense unit is about to do. I believe out of all of these units, Caesar will be the one to shake up the meta the most, because with her being our first S rank defense unit, she needs to be able to show her value in the meta immediately for players, and I'm sure the dev team is very aware of that. But all in all, that's a glimpse into the future of Zenless Zone Zero. Currently the go-to comp with stunner, attacker, and support is really strong, and I definitely believe it's going to maintain its strength in the foreseeable future. But when all of these other new units come into the game that actually add more value to the other classes like defense and anomaly, I believe we're going to start to seeing more shifts and seeing more other important roles pop up for us to participate and use and play within in-game content, because then we're going to start seeing the true value of units like anomaly and defense, because they're going to be having more stocks built into them. Both of these classes are really strong and provide insane utility that the other three classes don't. Understanding that has me really excited to see where the future of Zenless Zone Zero is really going to take us with these new units, and I can't wait to see how we go even beyond these guys, because based off what we're hearing and seeing with like 1.1 and 1.2, it's about to get really crazy. But I'm always super happy when changes and updates like these happen to a game, because it always continuously makes the game fresh for new players as well as continuing players that are enjoying the game. I'm already enjoying a lot of the quality of life updates that have been added to Zenless with 1.1, and I'm super excited with all the changes they're going to be bringing to 1.2, so much so that I can't wait until we finally get there. But that's everything I want to talk about in this video. I love you guys and I appreciate all the support that you have been providing to the content. If you guys are new, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also comment down below how you guys feeling about or expecting the new meta to be once 1.1 ends and 1.2 comes around the corner. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below, and always remember to believe in you that believes in yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one.